quick project with you that's really easy for you to do at home yourself. This is a indoor fountain for indoor water bubbler. Really easy, fairly inexpensive project to do at home, and much cheaper than what you would find in a store. So the way this project came up is my best friend Claudia is moving into a brand new office, and is really putting some good thought into making her office a very positive, well-balanced, spiritual space for her to work in. And I think that's just awesome, and it's so important. And I thought, I'm going to put some ideas together and try to spread that project of hers out there with you guys, in hopes that other people might start to bring in more positive energy to their workspaces, and build a spot for yourself where you're just surrounded by a positive juju when you're working. So that's kind of where this idea came from and why I'm doing this today. So there'll be some new fun videos coming up next week with other good ideas of how to bring positive juju to your office. Yay! So, okay, let's get started here. Super easy. You can do this very easily. So what you need is some sort of a bowl or pot or whatever. The most important thing is that it does not have a hole in the bottom, and it doesn't have a plug in the bottom, because I've found that even if the hole is plugged when you get it, or if you try to plug it yourself, the water will find its way through. Even I've put silicone and fiberglass around the plug and it still leaks. So find a bowl or a pot that has no way for the water to escape from the bottom. Okay, so this is my fancy schmancy bowl. I'm excited. Okay, the other thing you need, these are rocks from the yard, so just go outside and get a bunch of rocks, and the purpose of these rocks is to just basically fill this space. So these are filler rocks, so they don't have to be pretty or anything that you'll even be looking at. They just need to be kind of the right size to go around the pump. And this is the pump that you want to find. You can find this in any hardware store or garden store in the pond supply area. And this is just like the smallest indoor pump you can find. So I think it was like $12.99 or something. And I got this at Osh. And these pumps, just so you know, they come with, so there's suction cups. So this is going to suction to the bottom. And there's this hole. This is where the water comes up from. So you can just leave it like it is. You don't have to put any attachment on. This is going to be the lowest flow setting for you. And then there's these little nipple things that come with it. So the wider one would be for a little bit more of a flow, and then this tall skinny one is for the biggest flow, so like the biggest, highest water coming up. Okay, so for purposes of a bowl like this, I'm going to go with the little nipple attachment that's wider. But if you have like something that's really, tall, and you need the water to spring up higher, use the thinner one. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. So, pot, rocks, fountain, pump thing, and then these are a bunch of crystals that I have been collecting and setting aside specifically for this project. Okay. So that's super easy. First thing you want to do is stick the fountain into the bottom of the pot, okay? And there's suction cups, like I said, so you just stick it in there. Ooh, you know what I should have showed you? See on the side here, it's got like this little knob and setting. I have it on the lowest setting for this pot. So it's just how much you're turning up the hose, basically. So right now I have it on the lowest setting, but play around with it before you start building your fountain and kind of get an idea of how the water flow works on different settings, because it's a real drag when you get it all nice and put together and then you turn it on and it's spraying water everywhere. So play around with that a little bit. Okay, so push it down into the bottom of the bowl, and then what I'm going to do is take all of these rocks and just fill in around. And all I'm doing is filling space. Because number one, filling space is going to secure your pump and make it so it doesn't move all around. Number two, it's going to give you a foundation to put your pretty top rocks on. And number three, it is good for the drought. I don't know where you're at, but in California here, we are in the middle of a drought. So the less water we use, the better. And I'm feeling pretty good about the use of this water. But filling up the space with the rocks is, basically going to be using less water. So it doesn't have to be in any specific pattern. I'm just trying to make a level base. And this is the top of the fountain right here, so just don't cover that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some water in here now. And before you get started on this too, think about where you're going to put it. Think about where your outlet is in your office, because that kind of matters. All right, and these I'm just going to dump them. These are all very special for me anyway. These flat crystals, these are from my friend Lindsay. She's just heading off to college now. But she went to, where did she go? New Mexico, and was working with, I believe it was the Navajo Indians. And she found this crystal. They found this crystal on the land there, and the lady that owned the land, a Navajo lady, said, "Oh, take it, it's everywhere." So they got to mine these pieces themselves, and I'm gonna keep this one, and bring it home. It's just very cool. The lady was telling them that what they used, that the Navajo Indians would use these crystals as bleach with their laundry. So they wash their clothes with this, and it bleaches their clothes. That was interesting. So I just kind of put a bunch of these flat ones in there. These are smoky quartz from Washoe County in Nevada. And these are right straight from the ground. So what I was wanting to do is kind of make the water come up with these points is my thought. And I like the idea of all of these points kind of going up. Let's see. I saved these two big ones because I want to, this cord, comes out the back here. And it's not real great to look at, so if you can kind of secretly cover it somehow, that's helpful. But whatever, you don't have to. So I'm just going to throw the rest of these in. I'm going to kind of fill in the cracks. And this is a big piece of pyrite that my friend Pam gifted me a couple of years ago, and it's just very, very special. And for some reason, I really, really feel drawn to putting this in this fountain. And I feel that it needs to be in a spot where it's getting that running water. I don't know why, but just my instinct is telling me that. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. Hopefully you can see that. And then I have this pedestal that I was going to put this fountain on top of the pedestal, is my thought. So I'll try that out and see. But I'm going to plug this in. And I did plug this in before I got started, because that's another bummer if it's a broken pump and then you do all the work and then have to take it apart. It's sad. So, all right, I'm going to plug this in. Yay! Can you see it? All right, let me see. Can you hear that? That's the sound of the juju. So what this is doing, just from a scientific standpoint, is I'm just going to leave it. It is running water, any kind of water in movement creates negative ions, and it puts negative ions out into the environment. And ions are around us all the time. There's negative ions and positive ions. For us human people, we feel better when we have less positive ions around ourselves. So the more negative ions we bring in, the more positive ions are going out, I guess, is away, or they kind of neutralize, come together and neutralize. But it is increasing the negative ions within your environment. Just sitting here, that's what's happening. That you can't see them, but they're going out there into the space. So, when you go to the beach, and just the sound of the water and the spray and the crashing waves, that is like humongous, magnificent negative ion generating stuff. This is not, putting tons out, but it's absolutely putting good energy out and making this space a good, positive place. It's a huge tool for that. So I would highly recommend it. Moving water is super, super, super good, okay? So gosh, I think that's about it. Pretty darn easy. I hope you enjoyed that. Be well, be happy, be kind, and namaste.